It's Gurley power. It's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Todd Gurley, fresh off a standout performance a week ago, as it'll be the Seattle Seahawks taking on the San Francisco 49ers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for...
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll have Jimmy G calling the shots. Grew up in the northern suburbs of Chicago, went to Eastern Illinois. Jimmy Garoppolo.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting on a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Throwing now is Garoppolo. He's going to let this one go deep. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Here we go.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Garoppolo. And that is incomplete.
Here we go.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. He's going to dump it off to Gurley. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 15, 1st down Seahawks.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front.
Jennings lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
18 yards, 1st down Niners.
21.
1st down at the 45.
Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. The numbers on the ground for Gurley last week. 8 carries, 91 yards, and a touchdown.
They look like a team that really emphasized the running game in the offseason. They were going to build around it. Didn't matter if they're going to run gap scheme, power scheme, whatever. They've got a runner who finds yardage if you give him just a little bit of space.
Now a draw play for Gurley. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Okay, this is almost football 101. What is a draw trying to accomplish? Using the aggressiveness of the defensive line against itself when they're getting back to the backfield, you pass them by handing the ball to a runner. In this case, that didn't work at all because the defensive line was there so quickly, there was no chance to fool him.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one. And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
On 1st and 10, Jennings going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. We're scoreless after 1.
Let's go! Let's go!
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. After the penalty, they go with Barkley. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Off the bootleg, Jennings. He'll find Metcalf. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. DK Metcalf with touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
From the 29, Garoppolo, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. That last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long. Dumps it off to Gurley. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that's going to make it 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Call it a 48-yard punt. Give him 9, though, on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Jennings stepping up. He's going to keep it. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and pressure advantage.
Looking to throw. Jennings forced out to his left. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Niners take over in terrific field position. So, Charles, why in the world do you take that risk there?
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense on the surface. I've been around enough of these coaches and enough of these meetings along the way. Sometimes they're so confident in a play call that they don't care about the situation. They think that play, at that time, they're going to run it and pick up whatever they need. So maybe that's what influenced him there. I'm guessing because I have no other explanation.
Yeah, that's tough. Own side of the field, that chunk of yardage to pick up. Head scratcher. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now Garoppolo. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Garoppolo, 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And that one's complete to Gurley. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Darren Lee picks it, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man?
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. That goes for a gain of 31. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
Being chased out left. And now he's going to use his legs. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. On first down, Jennings buying time to his left. Now he'll pull it down. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
A first down carry for Barkley. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Here we go. Spine.
2nd and 10. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. From 10 yards out. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense, they're coming back out onto the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear the ones
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. To throw, it's Garoppolo. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Garoppolo, a final shot here before half. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So we come upon an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big gain of 28 as the drive continues. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 47. Back to throw. Jennings stepping up. He's going to keep it. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Off play action. Jennings going for Metcalf on the... And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf becoming just the 2nd player with 30 touchdowns in a single year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now 21. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 24. Time to establish the run game here. Gurley. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Another carry now for Gurley.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but closed there quickly at the end. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. On 1st down, it's Gurley. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37.
Here we go.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Again they run with Gurley. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
Here we go. Here we go.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Gets this one to Juszczyk. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot. Because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. But he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. It's a big play there for Seattle. And even 50 yards. So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jennings. And that one knocked away and incomplete. Nice job defensively on what will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Back now here in Santa Clara. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets them to 3rd and 3 now.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy.
And I think the ball's out, and that will get out of bounds. Lucky there. They keep possession inside the 5.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. If the ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. The linebacker, Fred Warner, right there on the coverage. 2nd and 6. Dancing to his left. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it. And that is caught. And he has now tied the record. Touchdown. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie. Because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. The Niners on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd down and 12. Garoppolo looks to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
take it at the 37. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said,
and he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Operating from the gun. Jennings going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that is caught. And the record is his. It's a touchdown. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now back out comes the offense. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Garoppolo now. Throw left side complete. That's Bishop. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 21 yards there on 3rd down. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 33. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Stevens. It'll go as a 1st down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16.
Here we go. Watch the run.
Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's toppled the century mark already receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground, too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open things up for him on the ground because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Get out the field, defense.
To throw on third down, Jennings. And he's got his man on the out route. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field.
Right there, 56. Watch the run, watch the run.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. But following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. So the victory here for Seattle. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for the Seahawks, they move.
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, man, oh there with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash.